Let you all open all your three eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadusham Tattvamasyaadilakshmyam Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures. No photography, video, audio recording. Important cautions. Please be aware of the important cautions. What is spa manifestation? Let's hear from Bhagwan himself explaining what is spa manifestation.
All the 25 states of consciousness, when they happen in you due to your chemicals and hormones ups and downs, it is powerlessness. When it happens in you out of your free will and consciousness, it is powerfulness. That's all. When you fall into sleep, it is powerlessness. When you enter into sleep, it is powerfulness. When you fall into dream, it is powerlessness. When you decide to dream, it is powerfulness. So I have added the ultimate powerfulness, Turiyatita, in your whole being and doing. Manifest all the powers. Understand, power manifestation is nothing but cognitive shift. It is not work. It is cognitive shift. Understand? It is just cognitive shift. It's not work. Work is a 4-letter word. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, playing with life, playing with being alive. Static matter, dynamic activity, strategic existence, all these three has no boundary. You are one with it. You are alive in everything. Everything listens to you. Everything decides as you want. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, raising your frequency, not work.
Now let's understand who is Paramashiva. Bhagwan himself has beautifully explained the Paramashiva in all of us.
Paramashiva does manifestation, maintenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion and liberation. He resides in his supreme Paramashiva Swarupa as Ajomuha or Adhomuha, unborn, beyond form, formlessness. Is Paramashiva Swarupa. That Paramashiva Swarupa manifests with these 5 faces as Sadashiva, Tatpurusha, Vamadeva, Ahora, Satyojata, Ishana. 5 faces he manifests and does the Panchakritya, Srishti, manifestation, Sthiti, sustenance, Samhara, rejuvenation, Trobhava, pulling out of delusion, Anugraha, liberation. Understand? He does all these 5 jobs. Through these 5 phases. Now listen carefully. Tatpurusham, Vamadevam, Satyojatam, Ahoram, Ishanam. These 5 phases does Panchakrityas. Each phase, each dimension is not just one F-A-C-E phase, P-H-A-S-E phase. It's not just F-A-C-E, P-H-A-S-E. Understand? The creation. Not just creation getting created. Even sustenance need to be created. Destruction need to be created. And pulling out of delusion need to be created. Liberation need to be created. Then creation, manifestation need to be maintained. Maintenance, sthiti itself need to be maintained. Destruction, samhara, the rejuvenation need to be sustained, maintained when it is happening. Pulling out of delusion, trobhava, need to be maintained when it is happening. And anugraha, liberation, need to be maintained when it is happening. Those micromilliseconds when it is happening. So understand, Satyojata Murti as 5 phase, Ishana Murti as 5 phase, Vamadeva Murti as 5 phase, Agora Murti has 5 phase, Tatpurusha Murti has 5 phase. So, Tatpurusha Murti has his 5 phase, Agora Murti has his 5 phase, Vamadeva Murti has his 5 phase, Satyojata Murti has his 5 phase, Ishana Murti has his 5 phase. All these 5 Murtis, 5 phases put together is 25 phases of Mahasadashiva.
Bhagwan beautifully explained Paramashiva. Now, who is His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam is a reviver of Kailasha, the ancient Enlightenment civilization, the great cosmic borderless nation. Is an avatar from and is a supreme pontiff of Hinduism. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam has made science of our manifestation, yoga, temple-based university for humanity, Sovereign Order of Kailasha, led by His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam and Nithyananda Order of Monks, Nuns, Hindu diasporas are working for global peace to give superconscious breakthrough to humanity. Nithyananda Hindu University, world's largest with extended campus in 150 countries, is collecting, organizing, preserving, time capsuling, decoding, spreading and reviving 20 million source books of Hinduism and 64 sacred arts, science like Ayurveda, music, dance, sculpting, astrology, Vastu, and many more. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam is 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Shamalapita Sarvanyapita, ancient apex body of Hinduism and present emperor of Suryavamsa Surangi Swamrajyam. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam has survived the worst persecution of multiple assassination attempts on person and character by anti-Hindu elements. Beautifully, Bhagavan now explains who is His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Everything is infinitely powerful. You realize your potentiality. You establish yourself in the completion, space of completion. You are God, that's all. All of us are gods. The first experience is that I was able to see everything around me, above me, the whole 360 degree. I realized not only I was able to see, I was able to feel, experience the skin of the stone on rock on which I was sitting and the skin of this body. Both carry me equally. In both I exist equally. Sangha is a place where the tattvas are taught to you, and till it becomes satya, you are supported. Akhadas are basically founded by Sadashiva himself. All is ganas, Shiva ganas. Exactly the word gana means. In your length, breadth, depth, if you are filled by Shiva, you are Shiva gana. All the Shiva ganas formed the first Akhada. Later on, much later, Kapila Muni organizes Mahanirvani Akhada. Then all other Akhadas. As Mahamandaleshwar of Mahanirvani Akhada, the oldest apex body of Hinduism, I welcome every one of you. What I am teaching is from original Agamas Yogapada. The science very clearly declares, Sadashiva is very clear, manifestation of these powers happen when you experience oneness with Sadashiva. choose your guru, the best thing is find a person who is enlightened, experienced, who can play with energy, who can directly transmit experience to you, and who is in tune with the original Shastras, the source of the knowledge. All the revealed scriptures available about the yoga directly by Sadashiva for you to do research, study, practice, question the people who teach.
The science of power manifestation is a gift to the humanity, which is authentic, time-tested, scientific, and foolproof. Diksha, or the initiation from His Divine Holiness, Nithyananda Paramashivam, makes the science directly an experience for the initiates. The experience is directly authenticated by the Pramanas. The Shastra Pramanas, the eternal, unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, the Veda and Agamas. The Apta Pramanas, the experience of the Rishis, Munis, Ganas, Nayanamars, Alvars, and Siddhars, who are the authority of Hinduism, who have scientists who time-tested and verified the science of power manifestation. The Atma Pramanas are the avatar who land on the planet Earth to give a superconscious breakthrough to humanity. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, this millennium's avatar, personal experience of power manifestation. Shakshi Pramanas, or the experience of the millions of disciples, devotees, and followers initiated into the science of power manifestation by Bhagavan himself. Pratyaksha Pramanas, or the scientific studies which can be measuring the effect of being in the enlightened state.
Now, let's go to the powerful cognition from Bhagavad Gita Decoded. Master uses these techniques only with those who feel completely connected with them. They operate on disciples who have devotion for them. This is the ultimate technique that is used in the most loving, caring way to the outsider. It may look harsh, however, the disciple understands the love and care behind. When the master uses it on him and is eternally grateful for such a surgery, the master never allows anyone to get stuck with ordinary experiences, even though we call it spiritual experience. It is only when we stop experiencing anything that we enter into the real spiritual experiences. Only in such a experience, the experiencer, the experienced, and the experience disappear into one. All three merges into the experience. Only we remain. Even the word we can't be used since there is no other. All boundaries are lost. Unless the experience of Tattvamasi, that are thou, happens, unless the experience of Nithyanandoham, I am Nithyananda, happens, the master never rests. The master is the ultimate master surgeon who removes the ego at all levels, the ordinary or the spiritual. People have spiritual ego when they have holier than thou attitude. The master will never allow us to be stuck in that area. He pushes us forward until we experience the ultimate. The more we allow his surgery, the more we realize the truth. A few people ran away from the operating table during the surgery. That's dangerous. Before surrendering, do all the checking, verification, window shopping, but once you surrender, allow him to work. How beautifully Bhagavan is giving a powerful cognition where Master has an uncompromised compassion towards his disciple to make him experience the ultimate. But the disciples who do not understand this get into the wrong cognition and simply they choose a different path in middle of the surgery, and they get into more problems with the same patterns they are having and create a chaos for themselves. Here, Bhagavan is giving powerful cognition. If you have the ultimate surrender, you will experience the ultimate oneness. Let's go to the Shastra Pramana.
5.76 to 7a. मरणं घात्यते तेन सकेनापि न घाध्यते तस्य स्यात् परमा सिद्धिर् अणिमादिगुणप्रदा वायुः सन्नचरते देहे रसवृद्धिर्भवेद् ध्रुवम् आकाशपनकजगल्तीयूसमपि वर्धते मरणं खाद्यते तेन सकेनापि न खाद्यते तस्य स्यात् परमा सिद्धिर् अणिमादिगुणप्रदा वायुः सनचरते देहे रसवृद्धिर्भवेद् ध्रुवम् आकाशपनकजगलप्तीयूसमपि वर्धते.
Shiva Samhita 5.7657. Bhagavan Parameshwara says, death is eaten by him, he is eaten by none. He manifests the highest powers such as Anima, Laghima, Mahima. The Vayu, the wind energy, moves equally throughout the body. The juice of his body also increased. Rasa Vriddhi, the nectar exuding from the eternal lotus, also increases in him. Beautifully, Bhagavan says how one day Arjuna was asking Krishna who that if he is the most beautiful devotee of Krishna. That time Krishna said, come to a neighboring kingdom, you will experience that. Arjuna was surprised to hear that from Krishna and wanted to know who could be more devoted, who's not even with Krishna. So he went with them to the neighboring kingdom. The king and his wife and the child came to receive Krishna, and they all went inside. Krishna said, will you give to the king, will you give me what I ask? The king said, how can I give you something which is not mine? You can take whatever is yours. Arjuna was so surprised that king was so much in love with Krishna. Krishna said, now I want your wife to hold the child, and I want you to cut the child and give me the right side of the child, and the child should not cry. Hearing this, the parents immediately decided to do that, and he bought a big sword to cut him into two. And the mother held the child. The father was about to cut, and then the child's left eye started rolling waters continuously. So Krishna said, I told you the child should not cry. Why is he crying? And Krishna asked, why are you crying? Why is your only left side crying? For that the child said, oh Krishna, I do everything as only in the name of Krishna, and all my day I eat, I say Krishna Arpanam, I sleep, I say Krishna Arpanam, I study as Krishna Arpanam. Everything offering as to Krishna is the only lifestyle I am doing. But you rejected my left half. So the pain of the left half is saying, why did Krishna leave me when I was so dedicated? Hearing this, Arjuna was so taken back to the devotion that a child could understand. of doing everything as Krishna Arpanam. Such was a beautiful devotion, and Krishna simply smiled and blessed them and left. Arjuna understood the whole essence of how people live as only Krishna as their only source of existence. That was the beautiful space how Bhagavan says, only if you are in the space of just Paramashiva, who has come down as your master, is the only reason why you exist, and only reason why you eat, why you sleep, why you walk, why you talk, everything that you do. If you start living that as Paramashiva in everything, your whole Guru simply manifest and lift you to Kailasha, the ultimate space of manifesting all the powers of Paramashiva. With that, let's go to Apta Pramana. Apta Pramanas are the authority of Hinduism, Vedic rishis, and scientists who time tested and verified the science. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 42. Breaking of the sacrificial bow. As Krishna and Balarama walked along the streets of Mathura, the merchant worshipped them with the various offerings. Krishna asked where the bow sacrifice was to take place. When he arrived to the arena, he saw a wonderful bow which resembled the Lord Indra's. Despite the guards' protect, Krishna forcibly picked up the bow easily and strung it, and in an instant broke it in half, producing the ear-splitting sound that filled the heavens and struck the terror in the hearts of Kamsa. The many gods attacked Krishna, crying out, "Seize him, kill him." But Krishna and Balarama simply picked up the two halves of the bows and beat the gods to the death, and next the Lord went off from the soldiers, and sent by Kamsa, they left the arena and continued their tour. Krishna so beautifully how he played with Kamsa in different ways and was in such a beautiful space of bringing Kamsa to the reality. Now let's go to the Shakshi Pramana. Atma Pramana, sorry. Atma Pramana, Swamiji insists we will try. Reluctantly, we hitched up the Ganesha again. We started the forklift. Swamiji said, "Up, Ganesha," and waved his hand to Ganesha to move upward. The forklift lifted Ganesha into air, and it was flabbergasted. Ganesha rose to the height of the platform and was positioned easily. Swamiji commented, "I told you all at the beginning of the day we could get all the work done." So cutely and sweetly, Bhagwan manifested, lifting even the tons of Ganesha so easily and placed it on the altar. The Apta Pramana and the Shakshi Pramana. Shakshi Pramana manifesting the power of Ashta Maha Shakti for power of decreasing the weight of a huge object. Shakshi Pramana are the initiated disciple devotees all over the world who are experiencing and demonstrating and giving the testimonials of all the power manifestation of Paramashiva.
The Shastra Pramana, the direct words of Mahasadashiva, where Sadashiva reveals how this Shakti manifests. It is from the Paushkar Agama, Vidyapada, Patala 6. Laghima shigrage vitvam pankadhavapya majjanam mahima vyapya chasthanam brihadendriyadadribihi. You can take on the stage now.
Yes, so first we have Srinivas, who will be stepping up. And we'll take your weight first and see where you're at, and then we'll compare that number against the lift that you'll be doing. So if you want to just quickly step up and take your weight.
As you can see, Srinivasan Maharaj, a Rudra of the Nithyananda order, is stepping up on the weighing scale, and you will be seeing, as you can see, he is 54.1 kgs.
So 54 kgs. And on the bar, as I mentioned earlier, I got a little excited talking about this, is 115 kgs. And just to put this into perspective, I actually haven't lifted this weight in over 3 years. So what he's going to be doing is something I haven't trained and done in 3 years. And so I'm excited to see this. What he'll be comparing is up against, and again, this is very logical and there's a lot of numbers involved. He's lifting roughly 120 pounds more than somebody that is a beginner, which is completely insane because I'm assuming he hasn't been training. I don't know how long he's been training for, but I don't think he's been training very long. And so 120 pounds more than a beginner he'll be lifting, and he's lifting a weight that I haven't lifted in over 3 years. So I'll let him take this.
So that's great. Srinivasa Maharaj, you can come up in the front. You can see Srinivasa Maharaj is getting into the position. As you can see, Srinivasan Maharaj has lifted.
I don't mean to be a stickler for form and all this, but when it comes to training, form is everything. You're going to get much more power if you have like exact form. And I can say his form was not correct, but it didn't matter. That's what's shocking, is that you were able to somehow muster the strength without having the correct base.
And Srinivasan Maharaj is just 54 kgs and he has lifted over 115 kgs just like that without any effort.
Amazing. They're able to increase or lift the weight, decreasing the weight. They're able to lift huge objects. The power of Laghima. We can go to the instruction, go through the instruction carefully and the scientific detail before you start the power manifestation. The Pratyaksha Pramana and the instruction.
Pratyaksha Pramana, scientific studies what can be measured, measuring the effect of being in enlightenment state. Deadlifting. Powerlifting exercises can be harmful to shoulder, lower back, and knee injuries, from muscle strain, tendons chronic to fractures. The deadlift exercise utilizes the entire posterior chain in the body and is considered one of the most effective full body muscle building exercises. However, deadlifts can pose a risk of spinal damage. Deadlifts place force on the spinal disc, especially when done with heavy weight. If you perform these exercises with a rounded or arched back, the amount of disc compression increases substantially and can result in bulged disc, pinched nerves, or other issues. Preparation and step-by-step personal coaching are necessary for novice who wants to lift heavy weight. Charts are given to indicate the average weight one can lift depending on the gender, height, weight, and level of training. Manifesting powers of Ashta Maha Shaktis, power of increasing the size of others. Mahima, how a adolescent from Nithyananda Gurukul can effortlessly uplift double the weight he should be able to lift for his height, weight, and level of training. Manifesting power of Ashta Maha Shaktis, powers to lift huge weights effortlessly, also known as Laghima, power to make things lighter.
The Shastra Pramana, the direct words of Mahasadashiva, where Sadashiva reveals how this Shakti manifests. It is from the Paushkar Agama, Vidyapada, Patala 6. Laghima shigrage vitvam pankadhavapya majjanam Mahima vyapya cha sthanam brihadendriyadadribihi. You can take on the stage now.
Yes, so first we have Srinivas, who'll be stepping up, and we'll take your weight first and see where you're at, and then we'll compare that number against the lift that you'll be doing. So if you want to just quickly step up and take your weight.
As you can see, Srinivasan Maharaj, a Rudra of the Nithyananda order, is stepping up on the weighing scale, and you will be seeing, as you can see, he is 54.1 kgs.
So 54 kgs. And on the bar, as I mentioned earlier, I got a little excited talking about this, is 115 kgs. And just to put this into perspective, I actually haven't lifted this weight in over 3 years. So what he's going to be doing is something I haven't trained and done in 3 years. And so I'm excited to see this. What he'll be comparing is up against, and again, this is very logical and there's a lot of numbers involved. He's lifting roughly 120 pounds more than somebody that is a beginner, which is completely insane because I'm assuming he hasn't been training. I don't know how long he's been training for, but I don't think he's been training very long. And so 120 pounds more than a beginner he'll be lifting, and he's lifting a weight that I haven't lifted in over 3 years. So I'll let him take this.
So that's great. Srinivasa Maharaj, you can come up in the front. You can see Srinivasa Maharaj is getting into the position. As you can see, Srinivasan Maharaj has lifted.
I don't mean to be a stickler for form and all this, but when it comes to training, form is everything. You're going to get much more power if you have like exact form. And I can say his form was not correct, but it didn't matter. That's what's shocking, is that you were able to somehow muster the strength without having the correct base.
And Srinivasan Maharaj is just 54 kgs and he has lifted over 115 kgs just like that without any effort.
Setting up the items for the increase of huge object, increase or decrease that we are going to do with the huge object. Have the camera and timestamp ready, the Jnana for applying in your third eye, as a scale, bathroom scale, which is accurate, which can measure a huge object. We're going to decrease the object, so make sure the scale is good and get some huge object or which weighs heavy. Take few moments to set up the camera, download the timestamp, click on the video, ensure that the time is shown on the screen vividly and clearly. Make sure the camera is facing you and there is enough light and quiet environment, and making sure the video recording is seeing the scale and the object and you in a wide angle, and on the scale reading to see the decrease happening in the huge object. These are very special moments. Do not miss these moments of recording. The guidelines to start the power manifestation. Turn on the video recording. Apply the Jnana between your eyebrows. If you have it, if it's not, it's okay. Bring your awareness to your third eye, between your eyebrows. Take your object, huge object, and keep it on the large weighing scale, which can be measured, and measure it twice for the accuracy of the reading. Gaze intensely at the object in front of you without touching. Do not touch the scale or the object during the process. Through the third eye, change the weight of the object in front of you to make it lighter. decreasing the weight of the huge object. If you're manifesting just the Kundalini energy and heat and vibration, or if you're increasing by few grams or decreasing only by few grams, is okay to start with. But if you can make a 5 to 10 units of increase or decrease, mainly decreasing the huge object, weight of the huge object will be perfect. Decreasing the weight of the huge object placed on the scale by 5 to 10 units would be perfect. Weigh the object twice again at the end of the manifestation to see the accuracy and the changes that has happened. Please share the video, authentic video, with powerful cognition with your friends and families, and listen to others' experience of this power manifestation.
Power manifestation instructions. Let's sit straight, the head, neck, and back in a straight line, so that beautifully the Kundalini energy raises to the Agnya where the manifestation happens. Usually, our awareness is on Muladhara, Swadhisthana, and Manipuraha, where navel center, your below navel center. Here, bringing the awareness to your third eye and sitting straight will give us amazing possibility of power manifestation. Now let's understand few words that Bhagavan is repeatedly using. Shakti Pada, oneness, be unclutched, initiation. So here first we will see in Bhagavan's words what is Shakti Pada.
Let me give an introduction about what is Shaktipada process. Please understand. You would have seen or heard about how the chicken sits on the egg and hatches. Of course, in the modern countries, this does not happen. Machine sits on the egg and our egg sits on the machine. In those days, originally when hens and chicken were getting produced on the planet Earth, the hen used to sit on the chicken and hen used to sit on the egg, and the chicken will come out of the egg. See, same way, Sadashiva sitting means the ultimate cosmic energy sitting on the individual soul and making the individual soul into cosmic energy is Shaktipada. Hence, sitting on the egg and making the chicken happen, same way. You may think, how come, what is going on here? That hen is only sitting just by the body heat of the hen, the egg is becoming chicken. Because no surgery is done and nothing goes inside. It's only sitting. Same way, it is just sitting. It's only the presence. The Shaktipada makes the individual soul into cosmic soul.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained Shaktipada, how individual soul becomes cosmic soul. And let's listen to initiation.
You see, let me explain the initiation. Initiation is the process beyond your intellectual understanding. The transmission of lamp happens. Now, you understood something intellectually. There is something which is not understood, which can't be transmitted through the words. That is transmitted. That's what we call initiation. Sometimes I tell people that unless you are initiated, the techniques do not create the result. The reason is You do not grasp completely whatever is expressed through words. Initiation is like it just transmits whatever need to be transmitted beyond logic and beyond words. People ask me, why to wear this bracelet or this mala and all those things. This all will remind you. Why bracelet in the hand? It will remind you, before eating, did you meditate? It's a constant reminder. Before eating, let you be reminded, did you do the meditation? That is why this bracelet. That is why this mala. That is why this external things. Sometimes these external things does a big job of reminding you constantly. That is why take the help of external things also, nothing wrong. People ask me, why we can just be spiritual without having external things? If you can, really you are welcome. But I don't think anybody who speaks in that way is successful. I've never seen people becoming successful avoiding the external things, just having internal things. And it is just nice way of escaping from yourself.
Beautifully, Bhagwan explained initiation. Let's listen to be unclutched. What is to be unclutched?
The thoughts, every thought is independent, illogical, unconnected, and unclutched. Because the gap between two thoughts is too small. The neutral space between the two thoughts is too small. You think all the thoughts are connected and it is in the shape form. It is not. By your very nature, every thought is independent, illogical, unconnected, and unclutched. Between every thought, you experience a neutral space. When you change the gear, whether you go from neutral to 1 or 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 or 4 to whatever gears you may change, but every time you have to come to the neutral space. Only then you can go to the next gear. Even if you want to go from 2 to 3, you have to come to the neutral space. Only then you can go to 3. Same way, between every thought, you experience a neutral space. You experience a neutral space between every thought. Between every thought. That neutral space, that silence is what I call peace or bliss. The peace which exists, the bliss which exists already in you, between every thought, the gap of the thought, the gap between the thoughts, that neutral space is the peace, is the bliss. When you understand you are unconnected, independent, illogical, and unclutched, by your very nature, you will start experiencing the neutral space in you, neutral space which exists in you. You will start living from moment to moment in spontaneity. You need to understand one more thing. This technique of be unclutched, it does miracles in your being, in the body level, or in the mental level, or in the being level. In every level, when you understand the truth, by your very nature, you are unclutched. The tremendous quantum transformation. You take a quantum jump. The transformation happens in quantum, not step by step. Just one jump. You take a quantum jump and experience the truth awakening in you.
The oneness space is the most beautiful space that Bhagavan himself is explaining how we are ferocious. Beyond the tiredness and boredom, we can experience the space of oneness and be unclutched.
Oneness is not imagination. Oneness is not visualization. Oneness is not even just declaration. It is your existence. An idea which is you is oneness. The idea which has become part of your very space, which does not tire you or bore you by the passage of the time, is oneness. Mahadeva says in the Laghima, Sadashiva beautifully explains in the Laghima, Kala, Yama cannot tire you or bring boredom to you if something becomes your space. Devi achieved the blissful state and union with Mahadeva on Shivaratri day because our space became oneness. Anything which brings tiredness or boredom has not yet become your space. If living in this body brings you tiredness and boredom, you are not going to be living in this body forever. When that becomes too much, you are going to drop it and move ahead. If you want to be in oneness forever, it should become part of your space, means you should become ferocious with you and break this very tiredness and boredom. Only when you deal you with the ferociousness, you break the tiredness and boredom. With that ferociousness, you need to make oneness as your space. Anything stands as an imagination in the length level, visualization in the breadth level, declaration in the depth level. If you open your time with ferociousness, it just sinks into space level. With this ferociousness, the time layer in you opens, and the oneness from imagination to visualization to declaration, it becomes your space, the way of existence.
The most important, Bhagavan says, being unclutched, understanding the Shaktipada, the oneness space, and chanting the Mahavakya. The Mahavakya, the power of the Mahavakya, pushes you into the higher states of consciousness. Here Bhagavan himself explains how we can experience the Shaktipada, raised higher consciousness, through Mahavakya.
It's one of the very important revelation by Sadashiva. All the electronic equipments work when the electrons are made to vibrate. That happens by the light. When the electricity is supplied, the light particle vibrates, the electronic equipment starts working. Just like that, the spiritual power and the umbilical cord connection, spiritual umbilical cord connection between you and me, it works with sound particle. For example, my integrity with the cosmos, Sadashiva, Mahasadashiva, it reverberates in certain level of frequency. When you are integrated to me, you also start reverberating in the same frequency. If your integrity goes down, That is when you start connecting with me only as a manager or this organization head or your Purvashram father, mother. Your connection with me goes down to the lower level if the integrity gets reduced. I was wondering, what is the way we can bring people to the higher integrity immediately and the feeling connection, so they start manifesting the powers, they start staying in the space of Sadashivatva. Sadashiva revealed a beautiful sound. I can tell you, this is like a password. At any point, if you are not able to bring yourself to oneness, you are a little shaken, disturbed, or for some reason, you are not able to bring yourself to oneness. This is like a password. You type, whether your mind feels connected or not, the energy will start flowing in you beyond the depth dimension. You see, all mind oscillation, restlessness, all mental idea based feeling connected or not feeling connected is only length, breadth, depth level, not in the space level. But this sound will straight infuse energy from the space level. Like for example, if the power goes off, automatically the generator will get switched on and the power supply will be going on. So end result will not be lost. Whether government power supply or the generator power supply, end result will not be stopped. So whenever you feel little that oneness is, you are not catching it, just feed this password. Immediately the oneness will open up and you will start manifesting the powers, energy, and the whole space will shift. It is directly from Sadashiva. It's a beautiful sound. I don't even want to say it's a mantra. It is not even a mantra because there is no meaning in it. You can't derive a meaning for it. It just flashed like a password for all the initiations I am giving. One single password for all the initiations I am giving. And the initiations I gave, I am giving, I will be giving. For all that. This is like one password. Don't even repeat like a mantra. Just feed like a password. And it will just open up. Your whole being will open up. Listen carefully. It starts with the vibration Om. Listen and then repeat. Om. Very deep. Om. Nithyananda. Nithyananda. Maha Sadashivoham.
So Bhagavan gave beautiful explanation of how you can be in Shaktipada. Visualize Paramashiva who has come down as Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam from Kailasha. Remembering Paramashiva in your third eye. Again and again, bringing your awareness to your third eye simply makes you manifest powers. Absolute unclutching. How Bhagavan said, the neutral zone. Nothing ever touches the screen. Like same way, the movie does not touch the screen, whether it is happening in ferocious or any soft, beautiful, nothing touches the screen. Be unclutched like the screen. And to experience the state of Paramashiva, your inner space being completely unclutched. Complete completion to experience the space of Paramashiva. Inside us, the complete completion happens when we are in tune with Paramashiva, that everything is redundant and irrelevant. The essence of completion is irrelevant. Nothing matters in your life because everything is complete completion. Oneness with Paramashiva. How Bhagavan said, in ferocious breaking the boredom and tiredness, just being in the space of oneness with Paramashiva to manifest the powers of Paramashiva. Tyaga as Paramashiva is your only strength. now declaring complete integrity with Bhagavan to experience the being of Paramashiva. How Bhagavan said, chanting the Mahavakya raises your frequency, and that is your only strength to manifest any reality. Being in this beautiful space of Paramashiva, you can experience such a beautiful space, state, powers, and becoming the being of Paramashiva, manifesting whatever you want. Now, you will be manifesting the powers, watching the oneness capsule, and chanting the Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. We'll be playing the Mahavakya and the oneness capsule for you to manifest powers. At end of the Mahavakya, you can start with the verification and sharing and causing. Thank you.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eye. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Verification process. Verify no video is edited during the process of Shakti Avishkarana power manifestation videos. Verify is the video is not stopped or restarted during the process of manifestation. All videos have the timestamp clearly seen. All videos should have a wide angle view that the object is very clearly seen. The scale is very clearly seen, and the decrease which is happening is also seen very clearly. Do not touch the objects or the weighing scale during the power manifestation. Do not tamper with the scale or the weight of the object. Do not add or remove anything during the process to increase or decrease the weight of the huge object. Decreasing the weight by 10 to 20 units because it's a huge item would be authentically seen as power manifestation for this Shakti. Thank you for participating in this Shakti Avishkarana, power manifestation.
We are at the end of the power manifestation, but most important part of the power manifestation. Here, we are going to share all that you have manifested with the social media groups. Here we have Sri Kailasha Kotiyar Manifesting Power Groups. Thousands of people are part of that. And you can share there and you can post your powerful cognition and the videos. The link is tinyurl.com/power manifestation. It is at the left corner of the page. You can click on it and you can post your beautiful experience in the power manifestation group. Why sharing and causing is very important part of power manifestation. Bhagavan beautifully explains that sharing is pulling us out of delusion and causing is liberating us. We are the ones who need to start experiencing the higher states of reality, how we need to exist. Beautifully, Bhagavan explains when you are sharing with others the ultimate beautiful multidimensional logic, your brain rewires into the higher space of consciousness, the Turyatita state. Again and again, when you experience even a little bit, you share with the world, your experience becomes reality. Same thing when you cause others to come and get initiated for higher reality, you are caused into the higher purpose, the ultimate reality. Bhagavan says extreme causing extreme power manifestation is extreme causing. So beautifully he explains how our strength is declared on Paramashiva. The power manifestation happens exactly in tune to that. And sharing with the world, continuously reiterating ourselves the experience that we had from the powerful cognition and manifesting the space of Paramashiva, the state of Paramashiva, the beings of Paramashiva, we become Paramashiva. Go on sharing and causing, which is the most important part of how you have experienced your reality. When you go to a temple, we pray and we see that beautiful experience happen in us, and then share with the world that how amazing the temple experience has manifested as your reality. Same way, when you manifest powers, when you share with the world, it becomes more and more the depth cognition of you, and you will be experiencing more powers. Even if you're manifested very small, it does not matter the quantity, Bhagavan says. The quality is important. If it is authentic, please go ahead and share with the world. Do not doubt, have self-doubt, self-denial, self-hatred come and block anything. Experience the ultimate in deep seeking and gratitude. Bhagavan manifest in you with a deep prayer, that asking Bhagavan to make this reality as your existential reality. With that, let's end with the Purna Mantra, thanking Bhagavan for all these great experience. We have come to the end of the Power Manifestation course, and we end with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamadashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhavate Sri Nithyananda Parameshwaram Padaka Arpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you for participating in the Jnana Paddhati, Nithyananda Jnana Paddhati course. Please go ahead and select more power manifestation and every day experience the ultimate reality for yourself. Nithyananda.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham